Welcome to episode 173 of the official Gamestitch Podcast. I'm Ryan Walton, joined by Dan Reamer and the milk to my cookies, Matt Belden.
God damn, they're getting better every week.
I don't know. Thunder to Lightning was better, and I'm apparently just me, so.
Yeah, but I'm a big fan of milk.
Here's the thing. Sometimes these are hard for me to come up with, and Matt's not here very often. So I can't do it for you, Dan.
Okay.
I'll run out.
Fair enough. Okay, I'll give you that. I can live with that. I can just be plain old stupid me.
Right.
I can work with that.
We know you're going to be here.
True.
And if I try to come up with something fancy, I'm going to end up...
Then it no longer becomes fancy, then it becomes the norm.
Well, I'll stumble, because I won't be able to think of anything.
Whereas with Matt, it's fancy because he's only here like 4 podcasts a year or something.
He's got room for one more, because I've got one more intro.
We've been sandbagging him?
Yeah, I've got one more. Now, after this, I don't know what the fuck happens.
Gotcha.
But I've got one more in the bank. Maybe I could check the interwebs, and they're out there.
So, yeah,
I don't know.
That's not very creative, though. You need to be a little personal, I think, when you're going to do that kind of thing. Otherwise, you just don't do it.
Right, well, the last one was organic. This one I thought about.
Okay.
I was like, what are 2 things that I enjoy?
Like the peanut butter to my chocolate, that kind of thing.
Yeah, I don't like that, but yeah.
Yeah, well, if you were a Reese's peanut butter cup guy, that's what I'm saying.
Like the marshmallow to my campfire.
That was a little...
Not to me. Yeah. I like marshmallows on an open flame.
Okay. You should probably still stockpile that one for a later date.
I shouldn't have used it yet?
Well, too late now. Doesn't matter.
I went too soon. Damn.
Matt, did we lose you?
No, I'm still here. I'm just listening to this stupid conversation.
And this is why you get 4 podcasts a year.
If that was true, you really front-loaded this year.
Uh-huh. Yep, you're done. See you next January.
You got to pace them out. 1 per quarter.
Nothing?
Nope.
Oh, fuck that guy. Fuck that guy.
I don't understand why everybody's angry.
Fucking...
Nobody's angry.
I think it's just
everybody's angry.
I think it's just me.
Really? Because the podcasts are great when everybody's angry.
That's why it's just me. Matt's just not doing anything. He's just sitting there like a fucking wart on a dick.
If I was... If I was to rate this podcast so far out of 10, I'd give it a 2.
Okay. That's fair.
It's not good, though.
Hey, they can't... Listen, they can't all be gold.
They're not.
I know.
So now the question is, 10 is out of the question now for this episode, but can we get it to like a 7.5?
It's not.
Maybe?
It's not out of the question.
No, it is. I can tell attitudes are shit. So at best, we're shooting for a 7.5, and that's fully erect 7.5, like the entire show. Best we could do 7.5.
It's inches?
No.
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 7.5 stars.
Points. I like to use points.
Points?
Kilos.
Points. Kilos? as in cocaine?
Yeah. I measure everything in kilos of cocaine.
Okay.
What the hell is happening?
Oh, now you don't like cocaine because we're recording? Talk about it all leading up to the show, but the second we turn the mics on...
all of a sudden you're like, what? What is this?
Yeah.
Okay, man.
Right.
Whatever.
I don't know anything about that Columbia Bam Bam.
You and your nose candy.
Ooh. That white dragon. The white lady.
What?
Snowstorm. You know what I'm talking about.
Nope.
White out. That liquid paper?
Here's my question for you, Matt, though. Here's my question for you, though, Matt. Do you prefer the cocaine or the heroin?
Nah. If I'm going to pick one or the other, I'll go with Coke.
Heroin seems like it's got a lot of, responsibility getting it ready.
There's just too much that goes along with heroin. Like, too much can go wrong, you know?
Yeah, but here's the thing about heroin is when you're like jonesing, it's called chasing the dragon, and that is like the coolest name for being addicted to anything I've ever heard.
Right, but when you're chasing the dragon, you'll suck a dick. And I'm not there. I don't think I'll ever be there.
No, because you're not chasing the dragon. If you were chasing the dragon, you would be there.
But the thing about cocaine is you can wear one of those sweet-ass necklaces. It's like a little bottle.
Yeah, and you can pull it out. And
it's got the little like spoon in it.
You know what else
Yeah,
is nice?
yeah. That's badass.
It gives you a reason to grow one of your pinky fingernail out.
Yeah.
Yeah, I probably wouldn't do that either.
Coke nail.
So you just
if I did coke, I would
it
just
out and a quick little and it's fucking done.
Right, I would just have coke occasionally. I think.
Recreational user.
Yeah.
I only do coke socially.
Wow.
I can't picture myself being like a hardcore
face planner.
Any kind of drugger user.
Drugger.
Yeah, based off that comment, I can't picture it either.
You're right.
I'm a hardcore drugger.
Yeah.
That
It's
sounds
just
more
not
like
for
you're
me.
going out and getting people.
Right.
Like you're roofing.
Yeah, like you're roofing you're a serial roofier.
No, head to the bathroom. I'll watch you drink.
Don't worry about it. You don't want to take it in there with you. That's how you get germs.
That's gross. Don't worry, I'll keep a close eye on it.
I'll make sure nobody puts a roofie in here. Don't worry.
Is that good? You like that? Tastes good, huh? Sleepy time. Seriously, though, don't drug people.
We're just kidding. We don't really do drugs.
We shouldn't kid about this, though, should
I'm
we?
just speaking. Why?
Yeah, it's America.
It's
Can
kind of
about
gross.
drug use all I want.
It's kind of gross. It's kind of gross.
Why is it gross?
What if our
joke
audience
about
is
drugs?
mostly drug users? I don't want to alienate them.
Right.
No, I get what you're saying. I'm just saying
Well,
it's a
about
little
inclusion.
gross to maybe joke about roofing somebody.
I mean, that's how we tackle tough issues in this country. We make light of them.
Right. Now I get that.
Like, if you can't realize it's a fucking joke, turn this podcast off.
I mean, to be fair, we never specified who was being roofied,
Right.
right? So it's not it's not like
It's gross as a dude if you get roofied, too.
right. I understand that. That's what I'm saying.
Like, roofie's not cool. Unless it's like your buddy and you're just fucking with him.
That's probably not cool either, but
Like, we just want to mess with him. So you roof him and then put him on a bench in the park and then go home.
so I wonders how the fuck he got there.
Yeah, but you knew he was safe.
Right. Yeah, in a park bench. Yeah, perfectly safe in the park bench in the middle of town.
Yeah, bro, you were
I
fine
mean-
when I left you there.
Like if I knew somebody, if I knew like you guys are gonna watch over me all night, it'd probably be okay, I guess.
Just to see what it's like.
You would let yourself be roofied just to see.
I mean, just because I imagine that there would be a lot of pictures and fun stories, but I wouldn't remember any of it.
Dicks
That would
on
make
your
it
forehead,
even.
shit like that.
You trying to
That
go
would make it even more fun.
You trying to go to
I'm not
Wendy's,
talking.
Matt?
I'm not talking
Sometime this
pictures,
week?
bro.
Trying to go to Wendy's?
Yeah.
No, not really. Why?
Because then when you go pee, I'm going to roof you a drink at Wendy's.
Great. I hadn't thought about it, but I guess I can.
Don't worry, Ryan doesn't even know where to get roofies.
Yeah, he's right. I'd have to go to Target and look around.
Right. At Target.
I don't understand.
I'm sure Target
Why do they look
appreciates
like
that.
Flintstones?
Yeah. Do you think they got the chewy roofies? Like the gummy roofies?
Probably not. 'Cause I don't think I think you find those.
God, that's a better thing. You're like, hey, make sure you take a vitamin.
But that would be a great visual gag to have a dude drop gummy bears into a fucking drink.
You would go directly to prison. Do you just go up to like the pharmacy at Target and go, "Hey, I'm just trying to get some Roofalin"?
Yeah.
And they're like, "What?"
Some Rohypnol. That's what I need.
I don't-
some Rohypnol.
I don't have a prescription for it,
Right.
but
They're
I'd like
you-
some.
But it's like Sudafed,
and you're
right?
like, "It's okay. It's just me and my friends are just playing a prank on each other."
Do you have any OTC?
It's for my allergies.
I'm not trying to do any paperwork. You got OTC back there?
Oh God. It's nothing serious.
Something
We're
a
just
little lower
having,
grade, but it's going to put them to sleep for 7 to 8 hours.
We're just playing a prank tonight. Don't worry.
You know any good parks? In case you just joined us, this podcast is all about drug use
Today, yes. For
and the
whatever reason.
effects of drug use.
I feel like I started
Right.
this too. That's my fault.
We call it drugs past and present.
past and present.
It's topical.
I've never had a drug before.
Me either. That's why we're going to be bad at this podcast.
Me either.
Dan, you waited way
I don't
too late
believe
to say
that, Dan.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
You got to come in front loaded. Like you waited 45 seconds to say it.
All right.
I was letting you guys talk. I didn't want to talk over you.
Yeah, no, I'm sure that's it.
I could hear you wink when you said it.
No. Never done drugs.
So this is episode 173 of the official Gamestitch Podcast. It is about video games.
Yeah, we're back to... We're going to get back onto the real topic.
Yeah, I'm the captain. I grabbed that wheel, and I fucking spun it as hard as it goes, and it just is just rolling.
Mm-hmm.
Like it never stops, it free spins.
Right.
There's no cutoff like a car. That fucker just free spins.
All day.
Yeah. That's how you hairpin a cruise ship. Just fucking sling that wheel and let it go.
I feel like you never hairpin a cruise ship, but...
That's the sound of the wheel spinning.
If I was ever on a cruise ship and they were like, you want to drive it? I'd be like, absolutely.
It's not as much fun as you think.
You should say, not only do I want to, I'm qualified.
Not only do I want to, but I'm about to. They're like, sir, get out of here. And then they got that badass thing where you're like, ding, and you push it forward to go fucking faster.
Oh, yeah, it's the little thing that says, like, warp speed.
Yeah, it just says, like, bullshit, like I made it up, it's like, faster than you were going.
It's not what it says.
Ding. Yeah, it is. It says shit like that, like, even faster than that. Ding.
No, it's not. It's full ahead, all ahead, full back, full stop.
No, I think
sounds
I like
like bullshit.
You're always
right?
wrong,
It sounds like
though.
bullshit.
You can't tell me what my boat looks like?
You don't have a boat.
My cruise boat vessel?
You don't have a cruise boat vessel.
I do.
If anybody on this podcast has a boat, it's Ryan.
Yeah.
I'll tell you that right
But
now.
Cruise boat
doesn't.
vessel.
I have
He's got a
boat.
jet ski.
I don't
I
have
have a
that
boat.
anymore either. I sold it.
You sold the jet ski?
Yeah.
God damn, you poor piece of shit.
I do have a boat, but it ain't cool like that.
Right.
It doesn't ding. It just has the throttle. You move up and down.
That's all I have, too. Yeah.
It's less fun.
Is it open bow? Closed.
No.
Yeah, mine's closed, too.
What I want is the ding, ding, ding.
I know what you
And
want.
then I'll go back because I want to hear the ding again.
Right.
So I'll just be out there just going fast, slowing down, going fast, slowing down. And then I'll take the wheel and I'll fucking sling it. I want a bass boat with one of those badass cruise ship wheels in it.
Why?
You don't fish.
Yeah.
I love to fish. You guys don't know anything about me.
You love to fish on video games. You don't like to fish in real life.
I love to fish
Right,
in
dude.
real life.
You fish on the Vita.
Well, that's because I can't get out to the lake as much as I'd like.
Whatever, man.
I don't feel like
You
you
act
really
like
like
we
to.
don't
You
know.
don't like do anything outside. I don't feel like you like to fish. I feel like you're telling lies.
No, I love to fish. I can't get away enough. So I had a fishing license last year for the entire year and didn't go one time.
Okay.
I paid for the license though.
It's like $20 though.
No, not for a year. It was like 60.
I feel like it was just a status thing. Like you just paid for it.
Right.
No, because I didn't even drop it till now. If I was gonna brag about it, I would have done it when I got it.
That's
I don't know about that.
It's a slow burn.
well, it's a little less blatant that you're bragging about it if you wait.
It's a slow con.
That's true. Yeah, right. You're playing the long game.
A year ago, I thought to myself, if I buy this now on a podcast in the future,
You can brag about
I'll
it.
be able to pretend that I was a fisherman.
Right.
We know you're not a fisherman. You might like to fish. You are not a fisherman.
Recreational user.
Yes.
Video games. Did anybody play any?
Yeah.
Nope, I didn't.
But nothing different from last week, so...
You played Metal Gear again? I thought you hated it.
I played the online portion. I was actually playing it when we fired up this podcast. You may have heard the controller spouting off some nonsense.
You play as
And,
Quiet.
What?
Quiet. Isn't she available online now?
I don't know. I
think so.
I don't give a shit about it enough to play it like that.
Who isn't available online?
Quiet,
I think she is.
the half-nude lady. And then played some WWE because there's some really cool wrestlers that came over to WWE in the past couple of I guess, months. So I jumped back on
When's
there.
the new one coming out?
October, probably. That's when they always come out.
You have your pre-order in for that?
Nah, not yet. I don't know if I'm going to.
You say that every year.
I say that every year, and then I buy it every year. I don't know if I'm going to. I don't know if I'm interested in it this year. But that's it. That's all I played. There was nothing to it. It was just turning them on to turn them on.
So I played a little Rocket League. There was a tournament, a 75K tournament coming up.
Mm-hmm.
We were registered. We were going to win lots of money. All the money. Short story, we lost in 2 rounds.
Yes.
The only 2 rounds that we played.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So, devastated by that. I've been playing Rocket League to get my skill level up. That's pretty much been it.
Just Rocket League?
I think so.
Wow. Well, I also played some Rocket League.
Oh, I played Forza also, because the Fallout car came out finally.
Ah.
So I did play that.
I played...
What's the Fallout car?
It's hard to explain. It's like the bubble-topped one that you see laying around.
In Fallout 4.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Wow, you can drive that?
Yeah, it's fucking awesome, too.
That sounds stupid.
No, it's fucking cool.
If you say so,
It looks
bro.
well done. I'll shoot you a picture later.
All right.
It's a dick
Can't
pic.
wait.
I didn't play much different this week. The Division and Rocket League.
We got to branch out. I did buy Ratchet and Clank.
And that's it. I'm thinking about getting that. I do have my Uncharted 4 paid off, so...
Yeah, it's close.
Yeah.
Next week.
Next week.
I haven't pre-ordered that yet, and I'm still on the fence about whether or not I want to.
What?
Yeah, I don't. Don't give me shit about it. I just don't know if I want to buy it.
I don't know why I have a PS4 then.
Yeah, what's the point?
Well, it's one of those
Might as
games
well
that
give
I
it to homeless children.
Wow.
I
I
didn't have
assume
anywhere
that
to
it's
hook
one
it
of
up.
those games that I assume it's one of those games that I want to play, that I'll have a good time with, but I guess I'm not 100% invested in the amount of time that I will have to spend to finish the game. Does that make sense? Like, I'm not certain that I'll be able to start and finish it, so I don't know if I want to go ahead and buy it knowing
You don't
that
have 10
I'm not
hours?
going to be able to. Dude, I don't know.
Probably 8 if
Yeah,
you're
well-
not worried about the collectibles.
Yeah, I'm going to play the dog shit out of that multiplayer, too.
Yeah, I really want to, because we always have fun with that. And I know that if I don't get in on it now, in a month and a half, you guys will be done playing. So,
You know that's true.
Yep.
There's very few things that we play longer than a little while.
oh, I know.
Yeah. I think Rocket League's probably about it.
Yeah.
We played Last of Us for a good bit.
Yeah. I think some of that's my fault. I get
100%.
I get ADD with stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like, I just want to keep playing the fucking same thing. Except for Rocket League. I can play that game every day. If you send me to an island with one game, I take Rocket League.
Mm-hmm. I'm with that. Or the Division. I like the Division, too, though.
No, not even close.
I'm pretty invested in the Division. I play it a lot. You guys know that. Or at least Ryan does.
Yeah, but at some point, like, if you played it for 6 years, you'd be like, I'm fucking over this.
I don't know. Shooting people in the face never gets old.
6 years of Rocket League, you'd be like, look how fucking good I am.
How are you going to get electricity on this island?
Well, I'll hook up to the power plant that's there.
Okay.
It'd say it was abandoned.
Okay.
So, like, if I had to go to, like, a resort
Gotcha.
and take a game
Right.
with me, it'd be Rocket League.
Right.
Okay.
Change the scenario a little bit when you know all the details. It's like the Bahamas.
Right. Oh, a desert island? No, Aruba, stupid.
Right. No, it's fantastic here. So that's all I played, was the Rocket League, the tournament. Crushed my soul. And then, like, 20 minutes of Forza because I wanted to drive that car.
Sweet.
It was a good week.
Yeah, we're kind of... needing to branch out a little bit. I kind of want to play the Magic Circle.
I'm sorry, the what?
The
Magic Circle.
The Magic Circle just came out this week.
What is it?
The Magic Circle. It just came out on PSN this week.
Yeah, I don't need you to say the name. Explain the game.
Circle.
What is it?
It's the Magic Circle.
Right, what happens? What happens inside the game? What do you do?
Basically, you're a character that's been created for a video game, and the video game creator has abandoned the project. So the original the guy that the author wrote to narrate it, now has to help you finish the game.
Oh, all right.
This is, in a nutshell. I'm sure there's some. I'm sure there's some important parts I'm missing. The only thing I'm afraid of is that it's first person.
It's a bizarre looking game too.
It is. But it's supposed to be funny.
Like I looked through the screenshots and I was like, I don't know. Like
you'll be in a desert and all of a sudden, they decide that you have to create these fish with teeth to chase after you. That was one of the things in the trailer. There was like fish.
I could do that because I was a fisherman.
I know because you have a license.
Do that.
Right, you have a license. We know. So I kind of want to try it, but I'm leery.
Yeah.
Because it's first person.
Yeah, the first person doesn't sound weird. The game sounds weird.
I don't mind weird. I'm not a first person guy. I've really gotten away from it.
It is a sandbox game, though.
Yeah, it is a sandbox game.
Oh, I'm out. That's where you lose me. I don't like sandbox.
We know.
Headlines.
Yeah.
Yay!
We're going to talk about them. That's what we call them each week.
I think we should.
So, the biggest story, the one that Matt cares the most about, the NX won't be at E3. Won't be out this year. It will be out in 2017, March of 2017.
At least that was pretty specific of them to give us a date.
Yeah, unfortunately, that's pretty much all we know.
Yeah.
Yeah, sort of. It is a brand new concept according to Nintendo. This was revealed during their earnings call for 2016, and then they also backed it up with a tweet from the Nintendo of America account.
Yeah.
But basically, all they did was confirm that it is something new, and it won't be here till March 2017, and not to expect anything from the E3 when it comes to that. Is this a good window? They're missing the holiday season.
You've got. I'm sure all the estimates say that Neo and possibly now this new Xbox is coming out for a holiday this year. So they're.
Plus, you have the VR. Like, it's a crowded space.
Yeah.
There's only so much money.
And as we'll learn, Nintendo's already getting their ass beat. So.
It's not necessarily the worst thing, but isn't that the same window that they released the Wii U in?
Correct.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and so I see what their strategy is with releasing in that window. They're thinking, well, there's no other system to compete with. There's no other game to compete with. The problem that I see is it's when nobody has video games on the radar. As far as like general consumers go, we're paying attention to it, and the industry, the industry and the hardcore gamers are, but you're talking about, I don't know, 10% of the population.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure what you'll see after Christmas, though, is a hard marketing push.
I would think maybe pushing it in October would make more sense.
That's what they did with the Wii U. Remember those two Japanese guys?
But I think marketing in October, November, December is wasted.
Well, that's why it's after Christmas.
Because you don't want people in the stores being like, where do I get this NX?
Right.
That was my average shopper voice.
That's why I said after Christmas they'll start marketing it pretty hard.
If they can guarantee to have them in the stores, if I'm explaining myself right, like if they can guarantee that there will be an NX, that you can go pick one up in March and there won't be a shortage of them, which is the Wii U.
It's anti-Nintendo.
Didn't quite pull off.
Right.
Yeah. yeah, then I think that it's a good idea. But there's no reason to release a console in March and then have a shortage on it, just like if you had released it in October. If you're going to release it, then make sure that you've got a buttload of them.
All right, so pick a day in March.
The 29th is my mom's birthday, so there we go.
All right, so Wednesday, March 29th for Matt. Lock it in.
Let's see. Say the 19th.
The 19th, so you locked it in for a Sunday, March 19th.
Yes.
I'm going to go right beside you. I'm going to go March 17th, a Friday.
Maybe. St. Patty's Day. I don't know.
I actually think more than likely, I think it'll be the 18th, but I don't want to guess that day.
Well, I know they have a tendency to release things on Sunday. Nintendo does, so.
They like the weekend, yeah. I'm going to say 17th. 17th, 19th, and 29th. Also,
Okay.
happy birthday to Matt's mom.
Yeah.
Yes.
Linda.
In a
Linda,
year.
happy birthday, Linda.
Happy birthday, Linda. In a year. Excuse me. 11 and a half months. Sorry.
You didn't have to ruin it with that. You could just let it go.
11 months. Okay, happy birthday a month ago.
No, you can't
There.
go back. You can only go
I can do
forward.
whatever I want.
You can never go back.
I have a time machine. Fuck off. I can do
Oh,
whatever
shit.
I want.
Dang.
If you have a time machine and you waited till now to tell me, I'm livid.
I just built it yesterday.
We've had one this entire time?
No, I just built it.
Okay, I'll let that go then. What'd you build it out of?
Legos.
Okay, fair enough.
And no, there's some tinfoil.
And
There's tinfoil.
connects.
There's tinfoil in there. And I happen to run across a flux capacitor. So,
Yard sale?
yeah, maybe some Lincoln Logs.
Ooh, Lincoln Logs. I think I'll build a log cabin in a fucking fence. What are you going to
There's
build
nothing
now?
else you can build with those.
Yeah. How about a fucking fort? Okay, what about now? How about a log cabin in a fucking fence? I want
If
more
you've got
Lincoln
enough
Logs.
Lincoln Logs.
Yeah.
Right? They had those weird plastic like awnings and stuff with them, though.
Yes, they did. They were
Man,
green.
Lincoln Logs.
Yeah.
They
What were the
fucking green?
what were the things that had like the round circles with the holes all the way around them? Tinker Toys.
Oh, yeah, Tinker Toys. Yep.
They're my
yep.
goddamn jam.
I was trying to figure out what you were talking about.
No, Tinker Toys. Yeah.
You could build anything out of
Round
Tinker
circle.
Toys.
Right.
If you were a child
Maybe
and you
you
had a
could.
choice between
Yeah, but-
Lincoln Logs and Tinker
but it
Toys
was-
and you went
but
Lincoln
you know
Logs,
what?
you fucked up.
Here's the problem, though. As soon as you stuck one of those sticks in that hole became no longer able to be used.
Are you aggressively shoving them in?
No, that's just how they were. They were cheap. Nothing you built out of them was very sturdy.
I'll give you that. If you tripped while you were carrying it, it was over. They're not like Legos where you had to get a parent to take them apart.
Right.
You needed a parent to pull apart your Legos?
Some of them.
Yeah, I'm not a muscle man.
The hell?
I still do. I like run over to my dad's. I'm like, hey, these are stuck. Back to Nintendo news because that's what we do here.
Yeah, to
Like
go
a-
along with this news,
We're like a bad trip.
to go along with the NX release in 2017, Nintendo's also confirmed that the new Legend of Zelda game for the Wii U is also going to be released for the NX. Some would say that's good. There's others who will say not so much because now that title is not releasing until March of 2017.
I also think it gives you a little insight into the power you can expect from the NX.
Yeah. Which is not much.
Not much.
I mean, you saw this with the GameCube and the Wii version
Twilight Princess.
of Twilight Princess, right? So,
Yep.
it's not a shock to me, but I do think it is concerning because Nintendo doesn't need a half step right now; they need a full fucking leap
Yes.
forward. And I don't know. I mean, hopefully it is night and day difference, but then you're shitting on all the Wii U owners. Why even put it
Nintendo
out for that
just-
system?
Right.
Nintendo, man, we say it every time Nintendo makes any kind of movement. They just don't fucking get it anymore, and this goes right in line with that. They just don't know what to do anymore. If we see again what we saw with the half step graphically from GameCube to Wii and Wii to Wii U, and we get the NX just becomes the basically what they're doing with their handhelds, which is they barely upgrade them. They release them once every 8 months. It's just not how you do consoles. It's not how the industry moves, and Nintendo's so disconnected from what's going on that I think that this is their Hail Mary, and this is going to be the last thing we see from them in terms of a console. I think if and when this inevitably flops, we see them become a third-party software publisher.
I'm not so ready to cash them in, but I think this is very important. I think fucking up NX will be
have
bad.
some serious ramifications for Nintendo. Yeah. I'm with you, Ryan. I don't know that this is their end all.
I think they're
Nintendo
certainly
is
heading down
just
that path, though.
Yeah, I do too. They've got to start making the big jumps. They've got to start. They've got to get past the we're Nintendo. We can do what we want.
I don't know why they don't just say. Well, I mean, I do know why, but at this point, if I'm Nintendo, you either go back to your roots or you say, you know what, we're going to develop for everybody and we're going to make a kick-ass handheld.
Right.
Sony, you don't need to make a handheld. No one ever needs to worry about a handheld again. We're going to make a badass one. We want your games on it. We want our games on everything. Like let Nintendo be the in-between for both of these companies.
That would be a smart move if they were able to secure the handheld market by having the other companies become third-party publishers for them.
Right. Develop all your stuff for this Nintendo handheld. All of our, we'll make games for both of your systems. Yeah.
Right. I mean, you're kind of biting your thumb at the Vita and the PSP and saying, hey, we know that you suck at this, but you're also giving Microsoft and Sony the opportunity to go, you know what, you guys do it way better. Maybe we should kind of follow suit.
The Vita was a million times better handheld than a DS, and DS fucking teabagged it every week.
Yep.
Yeah.
Nintendo understands handhelds and the games people want to play, and they understand how to market it. Like, I just think there's a huge market, even with cell phones still, for a good handheld. And I think Nintendo could capitalize off of that. But they're doing half steps over there. The fucking DSi and then the 3D. Like, fucking do something different.
Yeah. You know what, though? I think maybe the Nintendo handheld market, I think it's just so embedded in kids who were born from, 1990 to 1996 that they just know Nintendo handhelds, and then that's what they're going to buy. Because
I'd say you could even back that up a little farther.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, you may be able to, reach back to 88 at the furthest.
I mean, I think I'm in 85, and it's pretty ingrained in me. Like, that is the handheld.
Yeah, I'm from 85, and you could throw every handheld in the fucking garbage can. I don't want to play video games.
That first Game Boy, that fucking brick Game Boy, God.
That was one of the worst gaming experiences I ever had.
The Game Gear, that was my fucking jam, too.
I had them, but they were terrible.
I had a Game Gear. I didn't have
Gear's good. 12 batteries.
So to me,
Game Gear, you can play for 2.5 minutes.
What I call the Pokemon generation, those are the ones who make handhelds happen.
The SP kids.
Yeah. And that's my little brother. He's 24, so he's kind of right behind us. They're starting to be able to spend $200 every 6 months on a new handheld. But I don't necessarily know that it's because Nintendo's killing it with what they're doing with handhelds, or it's that those kids are so ingrained with growing up just having a Nintendo console in their hands that's just what they buy. PlayStation got into the game way later, and by that time they had just been buying Nintendo. They had 3 generations of Nintendo handheld since the SP at that point. So do you get what I'm saying? Like, maybe Nintendo's not killing it with handhelds. Maybe familiarity with Nintendo handhelds keeps it alive.
But when it comes to a bank account, I don't know that there's a difference.
Like, I don't know. I mean,
if they come out with a new one, it will sell, and that's really what we're talking about. Like,
right, but the PSP and the Vita, PlayStation's handhelds are 20 years younger than Nintendo's.
Oh yeah.
That makes a difference.
But they never got the support that they needed to succeed. There's so much garbage on a 3DS that you can find a game you love. There's a chance you could go buy a Vita today and not find something that you loved.
I'm just saying in 10 more years of Nintendo releasing a new, the 3DS plus new 3DS, and Sony coming out once every 2 years with the Vita 2, the this, that, and the other, do you see a turn towards maybe the PlayStation handheld? Because now there's like an equal familiarity with the new kids that have grown up with it. They recognize that it's a better console, and you don't have to, it's not a money grab of, well, let me buy this one, and then in 6 months let me feel like shit that I didn't buy the newest one that just came out.
I want a new handheld. I want a new Sony handheld. And they might be fucking crazy enough to do one. But I just don't... I don't know how they can make it succeed. I don't think they know how to make it succeed.
I think time makes it succeed.
Well, they had a huge misstep with the price of the memory cards for Vita.
Or just the memory cards. Not using a common memory card format.
Yeah, I mean... Yeah, making it something proprietary that costs $90 to get decent storage is unacceptable.
That's stupid.
Yeah.
You don't want to make it internal. You don't want to have to go to cartridges like Nintendo. But if you're going to do removable media, god damn it, it has to be SD cards that everybody has 1,000 of them that you can go buy. The biggest one on the market for, $32.
Right.
You've got to make it something that doesn't impede the fact that, hey, I'm going to drop $30 on a game and then I have to drop $100 on the memory card to be able to play it.
So
but I think that
it had a lackluster launch. I just think that got off to a bad start. And
yeah, but I think if Sony, in let's say in 3 more generations of Sony handheld, I think that you're looking at something that competes more with Nintendo.
The PSP came out and was very strong. But the Vita was definitely a step back for them, and I don't know if it's worth going back. If there's a company that would do it, it is Sony.
Yeah.
Sometimes I think Sony just looks at all the analysts and they're like, fuck you.
Right. Now, I think where Sony misstepped was using the Vita as the halfway point between the PS3 and the PS4. I think it needs to be the other way around. Once the new console comes out, you release the handheld as a companion to it.
It certainly could have benefited from releasing later, because all of its badass features are for the PS4, or were originally designed, and they tried to adapt those to the PS3, and by then people had given up on them.
Right. It came out too early.
I love my Vita, though. Dan, you were late to the Vita game. Like, could you see there being another Vita?
I don't know. The reason I say I don't know isn't because I don't think Sony can do it, but because I feel like Sony has... Now you're seeing with this, the PlayStation Neo and the PlayStation VR, I feel like they're going to start investing in those types of things rather than the handheld market. So while, yes, it's very possible, I'm not sure it's something you will actually see, just because they feel the money can be better diverted to other things that they're working on.
All right. Makes sense. Next question. Can Nintendo continue to operate in the handheld area and make mobile games? Can they do both of those things?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, because I think if what they're going to release is what they've done with, like, Miitomo and what we're seeing with Pokemon Go, I think they're going to be fine. I think they should probably move straight into the cell phone market and get rid of everything else.
Yeah, so here's why I ask. They also announced during this earnings call that the next 2 mobile games for Nintendo will be Fire Emblem and Animal Crossing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And unlike Miitomo, they will be pure game applications. That was what they used to describe them. So it will be a Animal Crossing game.
Right.
Like, it will be it will carry that franchise. The cool thing about Animal Crossing is playing together, though, so that will bring some of that Miitomo feel, going over to, and I hope that someone I know gets this game, because Animal Crossing is one of my favorite games. But the idea that you can go to the towns and stuff like that will be awesome, because you'll have so many more people on mobile platforms. Fire Emblem, I don't really care about, but it's very popular. I just wonder if your next full-fledged Animal Crossing is a mobile game, then what do you do in the handheld? Are you developing 2 of those? You put the same one on the DS? I mean, what do you do? I don't know if those can coexist.
Yeah. Well, I think you can't cannibalize you can't you can't have those two things coexist. You got to choose one or the other. And I think they're just going to go mobile. I don't think that, or they're gonna release their handheld or their 10 to 15 mobile games and then go on about their way back to handheld systems.
Right.
Maybe this is just a way to make some extra money that they need to basically I don't know, push another project. I don't know.
Miitomo is strong. 10 million downloads already.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but Miitomo is just Facebook with avatars. So,
But I have fun with Miitomo.
I love it.
I know what it is, but I like it. I mean, it is surprising to me that I can get on there and see that you were playing it and Gerald is still playing it. Like, it surprises me that you guys still play it.
Yeah.
But there's something interesting about it.
The little pictures are my favorite part.
Oh man, some of those pictures are fucking awesome.
Yeah.
And I like to see what you guys are wearing. Because we obviously don't go for style, we go for fucking insanity.
Right.
So if I can get on and you got a pair of purple pumps and a sweet, vest with no pants, like, that's a good look.
Right.
And I want to be able to see that. And I think that trying to one up each other with outfits is something that keeps me coming back. They got a Splatoon thing going right now. It's pissing me off because I can't get the shorts.
Those sweet ball shorts with the stripe.
Yes.
Yeah, I tried and then I gave up.
I've got
those
the shirt.
drop things are such a waste.
I've got the shirt, I've got the sneakers, and I've got the hair. The only thing I need is the shorts. And then if you go to the rewards, you can actually buy the ink tanks for your back.
Yeah, I got one of those.
If I win the shorts, I'm going to buy the ink tank because then I will be full Splatoon.
Just go get the ink tank
Nope.
now.
Nope, not till I get the shorts.
That's stupid.
If I don't get the shorts, I'll never get the ink tank.
That's dumb. That's dumb.
Total package.
I got the Metal Gear box. That's all I care about.
You had that sweet orange Splatoon hair on too.
Yeah, the girl hair.
Yeah.
I like that one.
Mm-hmm. That's a good game. You got to get back into that, Dan.
What, Splatoon? I don't want to play
Miitomo.
Splatoon. I did.
I'll tell you
played
what.
it the other day. I got some emo. I got an emo outfit.
There's a great little picture of me dressed as a baby and Gerald dressed as a baby, stomping you,
Right.
and threatening Ryan that I put up yesterday. It was really good.
Yeah. The Miitomo
It was really good.
It's a good time.
Yeah.
I'll have to look at that.
Stupid. What a stupid game.
I get into it like one. I do get on it for like, I don't know, 10 minutes once a week.
I'm on it right now.
It's a good game.
It's not a game.
Social
It kinda
experience.
is. It's kind of a game. I like the questions. I like to find out about you guys.
Oh yeah.
Are you guys interested in
All
the
you ever put is question marks. You're like, what? That's what Matt asked. He's like, I don't understand this question. This is a stupid question.
I like to go back and see though, like when you get like 4 and 5 replies, I like to go back and like listen to all of them.
Yeah.
That's pretty interesting. Are you guys interested in all in knowing the top selling Wii U games or 3DS games
No.
for the lifetime?
No.
Are there what, like 10 games anyway? Who cares?
Yeah, there's tons of games.
Whatever, man. It's like it'll be like Bayonetta 2, whatever Legend of Zelda game from the GameCube they reported.
Twilight Princess.
Smash
Super
Bros.
Smash Brothers.
Well,
Smash
you weren't
Bros.
fucking interested. Now you are guessing like crazy. Which one is it?
Well, we probably got all of them right
We're just
so
running
far
through
too.
what
No,
they're going to
Bayonetta
be.
was
So
not
no,
on
we
the
don't.
list.
We don't need to hear them.
Which games on the Wii U have they remade for every console since the GameCube? Those are the top selling ones because Nintendo fans only want to play the same games that they were playing 15 fucking years ago.
So number 10 is Wind Waker. So you nailed that one.
Yeah, there you go.
Number 9 is Mario Party.
There you go.
Number 8's New Super Luigi U.
Great.
Number
Which is
7,
just Super Mario with a skin.
Number
of
7,
Luigi. That's
Super
great.
Mario Maker, which is for the first time something new.
Right, it should have been out in '84.
Number 6 is Splatoon, which is new. And then the rest of the list is Super Smash Brothers, Super Mario 3D World, Nintendo Land, which was new. But that number is skewed because it shipped with the systems. And New Super Mario Brothers U, and number 1 was Mario Kart. Now, all of those have sold over 1 million copies, though.
Okay.
Great.
Very Nintendo list.
Next, Sony announced at its earnings this week and revealed that the PlayStation 4 sales grew for a third straight year. The company has now shipped 40 million systems, and Sony is confident it can sell more in the next financial year despite a few setbacks from the recent earthquakes.
And the Neo announcement.
I'm sure
they can. I'm sure people
I'm
keep
sure
buying
they
them.
can too. Yeah, it's a good system.
It's a damn good system. I don't want my negativity from the last few weeks to leak over, and I did come around on the Neo, but like if you're on the fence about buying a PS4, like go get one that's fucking great.
Yeah.
The Xbox One's great too. Like it's not a bad time to go buy a system. I wouldn't buy a Wii U, but it's
Go out
not
and get
a bad
yourself
time.
an NX. Go out and get yourself an NX.
Yeah, sure. Wait till March. Go ahead, pre-order one as soon as GameStop will let you, and just start every time you get paid, drop some money down on it. That NX will be yours in no time.
Yeah.
Put that bitch on FlexPay.
I wouldn't be surprised if this VX or this NX has some sort of VR component to it, because that
What's
seems
a
to be the
VX?
thing.
You know
I said
something
NX.
we don't know?
I said VX first. You let me finish my entire statement with the correction before you decided to correct me?
Yeah, I want to know if
You
if you accidentally just let some insider information slip and tried to cover it.
I sure did.
You think NX is some kind of nonsense Nintendo term for VR?
No, I think it's going to have some sort of VR component to it. I don't think that. I'm saying what if. I said what if.
Right, I get that.
I think that's not it.
I'm speculating with you, Dan. That's all I'm saying.
I clearly think everything we know about the NX is true. It is some sort of portable that does dock to your TV.
I do think that's closer to the truth. That doesn't mean it's not going to have some sort of headset to it.
And these mobile games will work on the NX.
Yeah. I agree with that.
It's all a part of an ecosystem. They're not going to compete against that because they will sell games for it that you can go buy, but you can also buy all these mobile ones for it also.
Mobile One.
Yeah, Mobile One is what they're going to call it. Cellular One. Remember them?
Yeah.
It's who my stepdad had his bag phone through.
They became they're part of that the Kentucky only.
The Bluegrass Cellular?
Yeah, Bluegrass Cellular. That's what it is.
Speaking of Sony, out there just crushing it, it also came up that the PSN, just the PlayStation Network, last year earned more than all of Nintendo together.
Yeah.
God damn.
There's not much more that needs to be said about this story.
No. There's
Just
nothing
let that
to talk about.
Just let that fall over you for a second.
Just in case you're curious about those numbers, the PlayStation Network brought in 529.1 billion yen.
That's a lot of yen.
That's like $5 million, right?
That's a lot
Right.
of yen.
The entirety of Nintendo pulled in 504.4 billion yen. So, yeah, you're talking 25 billion yen more is what Sony did?
Yeah. So like $2 million more.
Excuse me. The PlayStation Network did. That's only one component of Sony.
Not hardware
Right.
sales, not anything. Just
Just the network.
the network.
Outdid
Not
the
software.
entire company
Uh-huh.
by $2 million.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Microsoft doesn't report Xbox One sales, but they're pegged around 20 million. So you can imagine that Sony probably outsold them 2-1 also.
Yeah.
You know,
I would say so.
that's I think that's why they take this chance on the Neo, because they are so far in front of everything else. But this could be a huge setback.
It could go either way.
I don't think it'll set them back to anybody taking the lead. I think the only thing it does is
softens their lead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
it may
it.
not.
I think you're gonna-
I don't think it's going to cause anybody to jump in front of them, and all of a sudden allegiances are going to switch. And they're
Yeah, I
gonna
think
be
you're
like,
just
fuck
gonna-
Sony. Nope, no way, burn them all. I don't think that's going to
I think
happen.
they're gonna alienate anybody who was on the fence about buying a PS4 or who just bought a PS4 or thought maybe I should buy a PS4 to go with my Xbox One, or
Right.
Anybody who thought about getting into VR. I think you just tossed them out the window. I think you're fucking yourself for any new game that comes out after October by telling people that there's a better way to play it by buying this brand new $400 console too.
We'll see. We don't know how that's all going to play out yet.
You guys want the next story, or you want some listener mail that ties into this?
Go ahead with the mail.
Let's do the mail.
Our friend Elliot writes into podcast at Gamestitch.com. I'm not going to read his whole email yet. We'll circle back to the rest of it, but I want to get this question that does stay on topic.
Okay.
He says, I do not think the PlayStation Neo is a good idea. My theory is that it will move, that it is a move to compete with other VR headsets. Also, remember that Sony made a cell processor for the PS3 complicated because they thought that the PS3 was going to be the lead console and wanted devs to have to put more resources into the PS3 version as a way to hinder the other ports, like, for example, 360. That basically would make sure that the PS3 was a superior system. Do you think that this is what Sony is doing with the Neo? Devs have to do 2 ports for one system.
Well, I think Elliot kind of hit it right on the head that by forcing people to develop by telling somebody, hey, this one has more resources, doesn't mean that they have to develop for more resources. You always develop for the slowest thing.
Right.
You always develop for the bottleneck. Now, what Sony's done to counteract this is they've told them, hey, it has to be better. No matter what, like the frame rate has to be better. It has to at least meet these requirements of XX and X to be a different version of the game, basically an up port of the game. I don't know that it's to compete with the other VR headsets, though. I don't necessarily see that as, because we don't necessarily know that it gives any improvement to VR other than
right. I mean, obviously,
yeah, so.
To be fair, obviously, if they're coming out with a VR headset, it is to compete in that market. But I don't know that it is meant to. I think it's just meant as another option for that, as opposed to trying to compete with that. You know what I mean? If you already have a PS4, it allows you to do the VR. If you already have a PC, you are already able to do the VR with the Vive or whatever, the Oculus. This is just another option to do that. I don't know that it's necessarily meant to compete with those other systems.
I think the verbiage that Sony puts out, to me, it doesn't do that. It's not for VR, because if you have a game that runs on Vive that's amazing and you say it won't run on PlayStation VR unless you have the Neo, then it can't come out anyways.
Yeah.
Sony has locked that down to say there won't be any exclusive games. Because it has to come out
for the regular PS4 also. Yeah.
So if it wouldn't run, even having a more powerful one is not going to make it run. Now, will some VR games look better? According to the paperwork, they have to.
Well, every game will look better, but
right.
That's like let's take Elder Scrolls V, right? Skyrim runs on just about any PC as long as it meets the minimum specifications to run, right? But if you have higher specifications, it will look better. The game's not different.
Right.
It just runs smoother, looks better.
So I think that's the perfect way to look at it.
Yeah, that's exactly what this is. This is a way to make the PlayStation 4 a PC. It doesn't compete with itself, but you can get better graphics if you buy the Neo. Now, here's where his email, where he's saying that they have to make 2 ports for one system. I don't think you're going to see I don't think you'll see, let's say, I don't know, pick a game like Gran Turismo 7, right? I don't think that's going to come out and be like Gran Turismo 7 PS4 and then another disc that's Gran Turismo 7 for the Neo. If Gran Turismo 7 comes out after October,
I mean, they already said they can't do that.
Yeah, it's
They've already
one
told developers
disc.
They can't do that.
Right, but I don't think that there's 2 separate versions of the game. You know what I mean? Like not that there's competing versions.
It's like how a Blu-ray player upscales a DVD.
Right, exactly. You buy the one copy of the game, you put it inside the system, and if it's a Neo, it automatically optimizes for the best settings. So
right.
I don't think it's 2 ports. I think thinking about it that way, that developers have to spend extra development time to make the game, is the wrong way to look at it. This is exactly like the way that you would develop on a PC. When you're developing it, you have your minimum specifications, and then you can optimize it up to what, to infinity basically on a PC. But you can reach these max specs. so that whatever the hardware is, it will automatically detect which is the best for that system.
Because I think what a lot of people don't realize about it is, like with the PC and with the PS4 and the Neo, is once a game's made, it's made. That game is made for the minimum specifications. The ways that it looks better and that kind of thing is based on the specifications of what it's being played on, not the game itself.
Yeah.
And I think that's something a lot of people, especially people who aren't familiar with PC and are pretty much strictly console players, don't understand, is that in order to make it look better, that's based on the internals of the console, not the game. The game is already made and done, and it has a minimum specification it has to meet.
Right. It will look the exact same. What you'll notice is like frame rates. You'll notice maybe like better ambient lighting and shadowing, like and not better, but like less jagged edges, you know. But that's it. It's not like the game magically becomes the next gen version of the game where like if you can't see the cavities in their teeth on the PS4 on the Neo, by God, you'll see, you can see everything all the way down to the freckles on their, on the inside of their nose. Like, it doesn't magically become this extra game. The textures are the same, the models are the same.
Right.
It's the processor intensive stuff like lighting, shadows, fog, particles, that stuff changes.
Right.
But not drastically. So
exactly. Ryan, you were awfully quiet. Bored? Sleeping yet?
Just a lot of info there to digest.
Yeah, I don't think that the Neo's going to be as big of a gap as people think it's going to be. I think what it's going to do is piss a lot of people who just bought a PS4 off.
Yeah, I've been thinking about it a little more this week, reading different stuff about it, and I'm not dead set against it anymore, but I think there's a certain fan base that is going to feel a little let down, a little disappointed.
I'm sure, but we talked about it pretty in depth. I've changed how I feel about the Neo. I'm excited about the Neo. I think it for somebody like me, for somebody like me that embraces pretty much every product the video game offers, the video game console gaming offers. Why wouldn't I want a luxury version of a thing that I use every day?
I mean, it's the dashboard looks the same. It uses the same PlayStation Store. I mean, visually, this console won't be any different. You'll only notice it on.
I could notice it on load screens. I could notice it. I should notice it according to them on frame rate.
Frame rate is not as easily noticeable as you think.
And that's the thing is, like, for me, those aren't things that I get too concerned with as it is.
I think you notice it on the games that chug, and I think they may not chug on the Neo. You don't notice it when it's good, but when it's bad, you can notice it.
Yeah, but are you playing a game that is known for having frame rate issues? Because I guarantee you that putting it on the Neo is not going to improve it that much.
Right.
It doesn't have to improve that much. It just has to be better than the PS4 version. So if the PS4 version gets 29 frames per second, then the PS4 Neo only has to get 30.
And I still hold out that it'll have a more robust controller, something that's girthy that'll compete with the Elite. I just think
I think I need more information. I think I need to be able to actually see it and hear more about it before I will make a decision on it. I know you.
Yeah, will. I don't think we're going to get anything. I think what they're trying to do is. Yeah, I think what they're trying to do is develop this legion of PlayStation 4 players that are like the snobby PC players that swear that there's a difference between 30 and 60 frames per second. That they think that the extra $200 on the brand new graphics card that just came out on Tuesday makes it somehow better than the one that's been out for the past 3 months. I think they're trying to make something that's not there, if that makes sense. The only thing that I see this console doing is 4K Blu-ray. That's it. Sony owns Blu-ray. Mm-hmm. Sony is invested in 4K Blu-ray. There's already a section at Best Buy. To me, the only reason this console is going to exist is because Sony has 4K TVs and 4K Blu-rays, and they stand to open that market up by giving you something that will play native 4K Blu-ray in your house.
Right.
Now there's a reason for you to buy 4K Blu-rays, and if you don't have a 4K TV, to go buy it. I think the PlayStation element of this is a PlayStation 4. But that's just me.
Yeah, I disagree,
I
but
think,
we'll see when it comes out.
Yeah.
I mean, I was going to get a regular PS4 for my living room, so there's no reason for me not to wait and get a Neo.
Yeah, for the same price, you might as well.
Right.
Especially if it's got a 4K Blu-ray player in there. Go ahead. You're going to want that in the living room.
Sure, but I still hold out hope that they will do more. I do not believe it will look the same. I think it is going to. It will feel like something different.
I 100% expect it to have a 500 gigabyte hard drive in it.
It may.
Which is stupid.
You can go buy them today with that in there.
Yeah, a 500 gigabyte hard drive is laughable.
But I think it will look different.
Yeah.
On a shelf, I think you'll be able to look and know the difference.
I think the box will look different. I don't think the console will look different at all.
I think it would be insane to release one that looked exactly the same and you not be able to know the difference at a pawn shop.
Maybe it's got gold on it, like a little line of gold somewhere.
In some way, it will look different. I think it will. It is for a section of a fan base that is very pro PlayStation or pro gaming and wants to spend a little extra to get a little extra. I mean, I think that's what it is. You're not spending a ton more.
Yeah, but I don't think that it's for gaming. That's just me. I hope I'm wrong. I hope it's everything that you hope it is. That it's, this.
All I hope it is a PS4 that's a little more powerful, because that's what they're telling me it is.
Right, but I hope that correlates to the gaming side of it, because from what I've read and what I can deduce, it has nothing to do with the gaming and everything to do with video playback.
Oh, I think you'll see a difference in load times.
Netflix,
Something like Bloodborne, it takes
Amazon.
45 seconds to reload when you die. I could see that being different.
That has to do with the hard drive and the disk drive. That doesn't have to do with anything else. It has to do with how fast does the hard drive spin, how fast does
it has to do with processing power.
How fast does the RAM, how much can the RAM cache at one time? That's all the load has to do with.
I think you'll see a difference in those things.
It loads off the hard drive. That's why you have these huge installs. So if it's running a 500 gigabytes, 5400 RPM hard drive, it's going to load the exact same time as it does on a PS4. Now, if they put 7200 RPM or higher, if they put a solid state drive in there, then sure, your load times are going to reduce, but
I think you'll tell a difference. I mean, if you want to be negative about it, you can. There's plenty of reasons to be negative about it, but
I don't think I'm being negative. I think I'm just being cautious about what we're being promised. I don't think it has to do with gaming. I think it has to do with other. Sony's a huge company, and just because it's a PlayStation doesn't make it a gaming improvement.
I mean, I'm the one that brought that up last week. Like, I know that's a practical application is Blu-ray, but I still think it is more than just a PS4 that's going to play 4K Blu-rays.
We'll know at the holiday time. Let's move along.
Yeah, I mean, either way.
Sons of bitches. Go to your rooms. Don't make me turn this car around.
Are you upset that we had a conversation about it?
Right.
You guys are starting to get a little heated and repeating yourselves.
I mean, people want to hear it. People want to know.
I don't think I repeated
You gotta have both sides.
I don't know.
Where are we at?
We're about to talk about the leak of potentially the next Call of Duty.
Yeah.
There.
That's it. There you go.
We just did.
Yeah.
Does anybody care?
Lots of people care. You don't care. Those are different.
Yeah, there are a lot of people out there that care.
So am I going to read this goddamn story?
I heard a rumor's going to take place in space. Is that right?
I don't think so.
Oh, huh.
I mean, it could.
A PlayStation Store listing that popped up early this week revealed that Call of Duty Infinite War may be the name of this year's entry from Infinity Ward. Another leak has also suggested that a remaster of the fan favorite Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare may be on the way as well. This should all be confirmed soon, as Activision usually likes to let everybody know everything, usually April, May, that area.
I think they showed like an elite version or a fancy ass version of this new game that included the remastered.
Yeah, that's My understanding was that it was a collection of remastered games from the older consoles.
No, I don't think so. It's only the one game remastered, but if you buy the Fancy Pants versions, it will actually include it.
I gotcha.
And I think you will be able to buy it separately. But I think that's a big selling point. People absolutely loved
the first one, the very first one, the one that started it all.
Yeah. Modern Warfare was a brilliant game.
Yeah, it was.
I don't think I think obviously it's the single player that would be remastered. I don't see them putting out a game with competing
for the
multiplayer.
Yeah, no, probably not. It would probably be the single player aspect of it.
Yeah, but I still think that's big for the FPS crowd and for people who love Modern Warfare, which is pretty much everybody who plays FPS.
Yep.
Which bringing us right along, Battlefield 5 is coming, and we're going to find out really, really soon on that. May 6th, you should find out about that. So when you listen to this podcast, it's right around the corner.
I'm going to go out on a limb and say it's going to be September, October.
Yeah. Did you guys read anywhere the leak that Battlefield 5 is actually going to be World War I?
I've heard that, yeah.
I have.
Yeah.
I had heard those rumors. Yeah, that would be awesome.
That's exciting. Yeah, that's something that makes me want to pick that up. I'm so tired of modern combat. I'm so tired of World War II. But if World War I,
it's a different war, though. It's harder to do.
Trench warfare.
It is. It's a more
warfare.
Yeah. It's a more brutal war.
Yeah, but it wasn't. I don't know how it translates to a first-person shooter that's fast-paced and
right.
Well, I mean, maybe it doesn't have to be fast-paced.
It doesn't. I agree with that, but Battlefield is fast-paced. So to break that, are the fans going to be okay with it? I'm okay with it because I don't play it.
I think Battlefield's got a different fan base. They're a little, Battlefield's always been a little bit more on the realistic side versus Call of Duty, where it's been a little bit more arcadey, Right. So I think if anybody's going to do a slower paced, more strategic style
and get away with it.
Yeah, and get away with it. I think Battlefield's going to be the one to do it,
like
whether
Battlefield,
or not
the Revolutionary War.
Right.
Where you're just waiting for them to put the...
You're just running with bayonets. That'd be awesome. Are you kidding
me? You're just waiting in 45 seconds, you're fucking dead.
Right. Well, I mean,
let me get this loaded.
George Washington yells "charge" and
Far Cry Primal. That was a Game & Farce or April Fool's joke that turned into a real game, and everybody thought it was going to be stupid to throw rocks at people. It turned out to be a good game. So
it turns out if you give people a torch and tell them they can light anything on fire, they like to do that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Sick fuckers.
So that's your FPS corner. That's what we call that.
Is that what
we're calling that?
Yeah, the first-person shooter
That's
corner.
Stupid.
That's where we put you in a corner and talk to you about FPS.
Right, make you listen.
We're like, you don't want to listen? I don't care. Sit down, shut up. It's FPS time. That's what we should have called it, FPS time.
FPS time.
Brought to you by green tea.
Green
Twist
tea?
Miss
I got
Twist.
some Lipton green tea right here in front of me.
Sierra Miss Twist.
Not Sierra Mist anymore. Just want to be clear on
Just
that.
Miss Twist.
Just Miss Twist.
Without the I in twist.
Right. Anyone out there not in the know, Sierra Mist not a product anymore.
Right. It's damn good, too. Miss Twist is
Mist
real good.
Twist without the I in twist.
It's better than every lemon lime citrus drink ever.
Similar to what happened with MTN Dew.
Yeah.
Miss Twist.
Oh, God. Miss Twist.
Who was upset about the Sierra Mist name? It sounded classy.
Not me. I liked it. It kind of did sound like a ginger ale, though.
Yeah, it could have been a ginger ale. Like
it does have a very
like Schweppes
ginger ale-y sound to it.
Canada Dry.
Yeah.
I like ginger ale. I'll be right. I'll just be the first guy to say it.
I only drink it when
I
I'm
like
sick,
it too.
usually.
You're right.
Yeah, it's good for the tum-tum.
Yeah, it is. It's real good. Oh, that ginger. That's why.
Yeah.
I like it recreationally.
Yeah, me too. I just have some.
Recreationally?
Yeah.
Does it goes good with your Coke?
I mean, sometimes, yeah, exactly. Sometimes I've been known to just pick up a Schweppes. You know?
He wants a bump and some ginger ale.
Yeah.
Right.
Who doesn't, right?
Yeah. Ginger
Living
ale's
the
good.
dream.
It's a good drink. Now, I went to Amish store close to where I live, closely located. Mennonite store. Some people.
But I know
call
where
it
it's
that.
at.
And I picked up a
Schley
ginger
box.
beer from there,
Oh, damn. I bet that's good.
which is it turns out just red ginger ale.
Yes.
That
It's
was
like
called
ginger. By ginger beer, what he means is it's like
like a root beer, but
it looks like
ginger.
a root beer because it is a root beer because ginger's a root.
Right.
Right.
But
it's like a sarsaparilla.
Right.
Right.
But it is a red ass ginger ale.
Red ass ginger ale.
Yeah. It was good.
And that's the title of this episode.
So, red ass ginger ale?
Yeah.
Just red ass.
Red ass. One word. So it was kind of like if ginger ale and a Bubba Cola had a baby.
Goddamn Bubba Cola.
not like a hard ass Coke or anything, but like a Bubba Cola. Like Bubba Cola's a little bit. It's like below Pepsi on the harshness.
I get cavities just talking about Bubba Cola.
Yeah, it's all sugar and a little bit flat when you open it.
Yeah.
That's what a Bubba Cola is.
It's the runoff from where they make a RC.
If you've never had a Bubba Cola, go on Amazon and get you one.
God, don't do it.
Bubba Cola.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever had one, and I'm okay with that.
Well, it's a staple in the South.
I believe
it is.
I believe that. That sounds right.
Go
Flat
get you a
cola?
Dr.
Yeah,
Thunder to
right.
go with it.
Dr. Thunder.
Bubba Cola and Dr. Thunder.
Yeah. Mountain Morning Water.
I think it's called Mountain Lightning and Dr. Thunder.
Yeah, it is.
That is what it's called.
It is. It's Mountain Lightning and Dr.
That's
Thunder.
Sam's choice, though, right?
Yep.
Yeah, that's Sam's choice.
Yeah.
Sam's Cola.
Yeah.
Yeah, Bubba Cola is its own thing. It's not like a third-party brand. It's Bubba Cola is like a thing.
Independently bottled by the Bubba Cola. Bottled
Yeah.
under the authority of Bubba Cola.
It's like you can get a squirt and a Bubba Cola out of the same machine.
Like Splurge used to be?
Oh, my God.
Or maybe a Jolt?
Squirt is just straight lemon juice. It's the same color and everything.
Squirt is good. Squirt is like grapefruit, right?
I don't know.
Yeah.
It's like cloudy yellow, though.
Yeah,
It's disgusting.
it's
That's
grapefruit.
grapefruit all day long.
Squirt's fucking good.
Says
I like a good squirt right in the mouth.
I bet.
I don't like this.
Where are we at?
We're going to circle back to the rest of Elliot's electronic mail.
Sure.
Elliot wrote into podcast@gamestitch.com, just like you should be. And he says, hello, Gamestitch crew. He actually says, hey.
Hello.
But I wanted him to sound more official. This is your longtime listener and fan, Elliot. I started my own gaming YouTube channel and now go by Baraxis.
Congratulations.
Buraxis. Check him out on YouTube.
Go check him
Baraxis
out.
Gaming. He's got some Battleborn stuff up and some Enter the Gungeon, so go check his videos out. Support him. He's supported us for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
He's got a long question this week, so Matt can hashtag deal with it, which I appreciate him addressing that right up front.
Me too.
Now, we did read the second part, so it's not going to be that long, but his first part is, do you have any advice for someone who wants to start a podcast for a specific game? I won't be competing with what you guys do, so I assume he means like a podcast for Battleborn or Overwatch or something like that.
Yeah.
You guys want to go?
Yeah, for any podcast, buy a good microphone. You don't have to spend a ton of money, but I think we all started with for this. We all started with a Blue Snowball. I think you guys are still using that.
Yes, I am.
Some kind of nice condenser microphone or something with multiple polar patterns. If it's got condenser, omni, or if it's got like a cardioid, omni, or some kind of figure 8 pattern.
Not to be confused with the carotid artery.
Mm-hmm.
Right. It's called a cardioid pattern because it is shaped like a heart. The pickup pattern of the microphone is like a heart. But definitely a condenser mic, something that requires power, so it'll be USB powered for most people because you don't have audio interfaces generally. If you do have an audio interface, I would suggest that be the way you go. Get you a really nice microphone. Drop close to $400. Get a SM7B, get a RE20 from Electrovox. Or Electro Voice. What the hell's the name of that? It's EV. I don't know. It's a RE20, but get a RE20. That's a pretty standard broadcast mic. MXL, which is the Marshall brand the Marshall brand of microphone, makes some really good condenser mics like the V67. But large diaphragm condenser microphone, or in the case of the SM7B and the RE20, large diaphragm dynamic microphones with a cardioid pattern, so that they only pick up the sound that's directly in front of them.
I think that's enough info about the microphone.
Yeah, and then use a really good DAW. Everybody will tell you to use Audacity. I think you guys on the other side of my microphone are using Audacity. And that's fine, but if you ever get into any kind of advanced editing, or if you want to really, like, I guess, add some plugins like a compressor or a limiter or something like that so that your audio quality is good, Reaper is free. It's a full-fledged DAW, right in line with Pro Tools and Logic. I use it every week just because it opens faster than Pro Tools. Go grab Reaper and learn to use that, and do some reading on gain staging, do some reading on kind of like how to set up your microphone, how to dampen reflections in your room. Like, if you really want to do it right, there's a lot that goes into it. If you want to do it simply, grab a Blue Snowball and Audacity and just turn that shit on.
If you have questions on the technical side of things, you can always hit Matt up at Podcast Matt on Twitter.
Yes, please don't ever make him say all that stuff in my vicinity ever again.
I spent 4 years in school for this crap. I never get to talk about it.
I mean, we joke, but you are a wealth of knowledge, but this maybe not the platform for that. So I mean, reach out to him, and he can give you some guidance on what to do there.
That was the nice way of saying shut the fuck up.
Would you guys would you guys agree that the biggest thing when it comes to starting a podcast is make sure you got your shit together? Like, do a couple of test runs, make sure the content's there, make sure that there's a chemistry between you and the co-host, and just turn it on.
I'll keep mine short and sweet. You could record it on a fucking cell phone if it's all you have, but you have to be consistent, and you should not start until you're ready to be consistent.
Yeah.
If you can't come out every week at the same time as promised, then don't start your podcast yet.
Yeah. And we did how many test runs before we nailed, and I say nailed loosely, the first episode.
Yeah, you should definitely practice, but if you're debating on doing a podcast solo, practice can be tough. So just record some stuff and kind of get a flow, have an idea how you want the show to go. But more importantly than any of that is just be consistent, because if you get fans, if you develop a fan base, it is very easy to lose them if you are not consistent.
Yeah.
And what I'm going to tell you is probably even somewhere you should be before you even get to Ryan's point. Do it because you like it. Don't do it to make money. Or
please don't do it to make money.
You're wanting to be famous, or any
free
of that.
Games. Don't do it for that.
Do it because
how many free games have we gotten? Like,
do it because you like talking about whatever it is you're talking about.
If you're not passionate about it,
you just got to do it because it's fun for you to do it. It's got to be a hobby. It's got to be something you enjoy doing that helps you wind down, that helps you relax, except for when Matt's on, obviously. But
right,
something that just that you enjoy. You enjoy that conversation. You're excited about the fact that there might only be one person out there who's hearing what you had to say. Before you even get into any of the other consistency, you've got to make sure that that's where you're at. That you're just doing it because you want to do it.
Yeah. And we talked about doing this we were all employees at GameStop when we first brought this idea up, and it wasn't until, I think you guys had both quit, and I was maybe 3 months out from quitting before we actually recorded an episode. So, it took a long time to get it started.
Me and Dan were working together somewhere else.
Yeah.
And I think you might even left there before we recorded our first episode, Dan.
Yeah, it has perks. We went to Comic-Con for 2 years for free. I think you guys went to Comic-Con a third year for free. Back in the day, we used to have a pretty good relationship with Bethesda. We just kind of lost contact with them because we got out of the reviewing process. But we had a few free games come our way.
But that can't be stuff you count on. That has to just be bonuses on top of whatever you're doing. That can't be what you're going for. That can't be the whole reason you're getting into it. That can't any of that.
I think our original idea was, hey, we talk about this shit anyway. Maybe somebody cares.
Pretty much.
Ryan always thought that he would be a good podcast host. And then as we got into it, we thought, wouldn't it be cool if we got some free games? I think if we had gone into it the other way, thinking if we make some money or get some free games, I think we would have kind of puttered out a long time ago.
Just be passionate about it.
Yeah. Get ready to get burned out, Elliot. It's going to happen. I took a whole year off, I think. So make sure that if you've got a co-host
maybe
or
longer.
2 co-hosts, make sure that
Maybe
there's somebody
longer.
there to watch the baby while you go do the drugs.
Just make sure that it's something you want to keep doing. If you're going to do a podcast and in 3 months you're going to quit, there's probably not a reason to put yourself through all that.
Yeah. Don't get sad when only 30 people listen one week or when 5 people listen one week.
I think that's huge too. Like every time we do a podcast, I would think that we get better at it. So that if you ever have an opportunity that presents itself, you're already good at it. If you wait to do it until you're for that big opportunity, you're probably not going to be good enough to actually capitalize off that opportunity. So you should be recording everything. If YouTube is your passion, then have a video to go along with your podcast. Make sure that you're doing Let's Plays, you're doing whatever it is you're doing, and hit it very, very hard. In the beginning, you can't, as long as it is quality, you can't do too much. But I would be careful if the quality starts to drop. Maybe cut yourself back. Make sure you're making a quality product, but you're being consistent and you're giving people more Elliot, because that is what you're trying to sell.
Don't be afraid to offend people. You're commentating on an industry that you are essentially no part of. Whether you want to get into the video games industry later, don't let it have any bearing on what you say. You give your opinion. Be honest about it.
Yeah.
Man, I guess that's it. Don't be scared to say that a game sucks. If you don't enjoy it, say that.
And if you're doing something specific for a game, you need to really be first. Like, I'll just completely honest. Like, if there are 15 people doing that, you need to get out early. You need to get out consistent. If you're going to talk about, one game, then be talking about it.
Yeah, but also, we always have this conversation internally. Also, people are going to want to hear what you have to say once they become fans of your show. So if you miss the first week of a game and find out that you love it, still put that content out, because your listeners are going to give a shit that you like it.
But at that point, you're going to have to work. If it's your first one, you're going to have to work a little harder.
Right. You may not pick up any new fans from that, but your fans that already listen are going to care to hear what you have to say.
Right.
So there's a lot that goes into it.
It's a lot. I mean, you can reach out to any of us individual if you have questions. Or you can reach out to all of us, for something specific that you don't want us to read on the podcast.
Right.
But, Matt will bore you to death with the right way to do things. And he knows
I mean, if you want to do it
right,
right, god damn, if you want to sound like a professional, let me know.
So, you can reach out to him and he will help you out with that, I'm sure. You've been with us for a long time, so we'll help you out however we can. Like we say, go check out his YouTube channel, Baraxis Games. Buraxis Games.
Boraxis,
Baraxis.
like on a gun.
Baraxis.
Yeah.
Baraxis.
Like I said, he's got Battleborn and Enter the Gungeon stuff up right now. It looks like he's planning to do some Overwatch stuff in the future. So check him out.
Sweet.
Thanks, Elliot. And you could go way back if you're a super fan and find the podcast that Elliot's actually on.
Yes.
If you're a super fan.
Probably 2 years ago.
Long time ago.
Yeah, long ass time ago.
It's time for my favorite section, our newest section, Gone But Not Forgotten, where we reach back in our gaming past, we dust a game off for you, and we regurgitate all the goodness that is that game all over you, and you just let it soak in.
Sit there in it for a little while.
Yeah, let it stink for a while.
Let it dry up before you do anything.
This week is Dan's turn.
This week, we're going with that Crystal Dynamics classic, packaged with the 3DO, Gex.
Gex a good one.
Gex a good game.
Now, I'll tell you, when you said Crystal Dynamics, I'll tell you what my first hope was before you tell us how good Gex is. Destruction Derby.
Oh, man.
Yeah. A gem.
PS1.
But go ahead.
Yeah.
Okay, it's a side-scrolling platformer in the vein of a Mario or something like that. Basically, you're traumatized because your dad dies. You're a gecko, I should say. I thought that was a given away. You are basically, because you're depressed, all you do is watch TV all the time. You go to Love TV, and eventually you buy a giant mansion and the world's largest TV, and then you get sucked into the TV, and that's is now how Gex is going to start. It sounds ridiculous. It's not. Here's why. Very full of jokes. It's very, very funny platformer. It has very solid platforming mechanics. But the story's a little out there. The character's super cool. He's like a super cool lizard. And but it uses a lot of voice acting. And Dana Gould, who is the voice of Gex.
Really? I didn't know that.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah. He just, he nails it. A lot of pop culture, with the pop culture references and the jokes, things like that. He just nails it. It's just, because of those things, you don't know what he's going to say next. That's part of the reason you keep playing Gex. Not just that it's a great game, because it is. But when I had my 3DO, this was the first game I got with it, because obviously it was packaged with it. And I played this. I came home from school every day and played this for probably 4 hours. It's probably the only other platformer I've ever enjoyed in that sense, probably since Super Mario Brothers, the original. It's probably my second favorite platformer of all time, just because it's so different and it was so unique. You guys know I love my unique, my different. So if you get a chance, watch the videos, check it out. You got to listen to it. If you're going to watch a video, you have to listen to the dialogue, because to me that's really one of the things that makes it is the pop culture references and the humor. But you can check it out on YouTube. Like I said, developed by Crystal Dynamics, and that's Gex.
Gex is good.
Gex is real good.
It's a good game. 3DO.
I never owned a 3DO, but I played that thing at like $900.
$700.
With inflation, it's like $2K.
Yeah.
That system was very expensive, but Gex later on came to other platforms.
It did. It came to PC and I'm going to say PS2.
PS2. Maybe was it on Saturn?
Yeah, maybe.
Well, let me check. Yes, it was.
Okay,
3DO, PlayStation, Sega Saturn, and Windows.
Yeah. Gex is a very cool game, though. So, Gex is Dan's Gone But Not Forgotten. If you have one for us, make sure you hit us up on Twitter using the hashtag GBNF. And we had 2 of those this week.
Yes,
nice.
We did.
Let me pull these up. All right, so we've got at Enjoy My Teabag who suggests Gungrave for PS2.
I know that game.
Anybody play that?
Gungrave.
Yeah.
I remember Gungrave.
Yeah, that's a pretty good game.
Yeah. So Gungrave, third-person shooter.
That's a good one, T-Bag.
Yeah. Red Entertainment. I think it was published by Sega.
Yep.
But yeah, that's a good one. So we also had another one from our friend of the show, Ad Hoffen Show. Not one that I thought would come from him, just to be perfectly honest. Knowing him like I do. His suggestion was the NES Classic, Baseball Stars.
Never heard of it.
Really?
Never heard of it, no?
Baseball Stars actually is fucking awesome. One of the best baseball games ever made.
Yeah. Is that the...
Go ahead.
That's not the one where you play both offense and defense at the same time, is it?
There
was one they made where you did both.
Yeah, I don't
like
think
when
so.
you... The only one I can remember is, and I don't know exactly which game it is, probably every baseball game, but when you move like any player, like the whole field shifts at the same time, like every player moves together. I don't know. It may have been like King Griffey Baseball or something like that.
RBI Baseball, I think.
Yeah, RBI maybe. Yeah. The D-pad like told you which base to throw to. I don't know. It was weird. It was weird.
It was SNK that developed it. It was the first baseball game to also have a battery backup. So that was revolutionary at the time. You could play a season, and the game's memory chip stored your statistics for the entire season, which was, again, revolutionary. You also had to create a player feature, for which back then that was insane also. And there was also like a role-playing element. You earned money, and you could kind of upgrades and whatnot.
Upgrade your stats and stuff, right?
Yeah.
If I remember
Baseball Stars is a very cool game. But one a lot of people I do think have forgotten about.
Oh, yeah, no doubt. And this is the one that was... I remember it weird. Is this the one that had the... Wasn't it like a weird little box that your batter stood in that, like, really didn't need to be there? Like
Hard
a clear
to say.
box? Almost like it was closer. Like, when I say box, I'm saying it's almost like they took a little part of where your character was standing and zoomed it. So it was like your character was bigger, but it really didn't need to be there in reference to the rest of the field.
It's been forever since I played it. I don't know. I have it. I should pop it back in and we should talk about it.
Yeah.
We should talk it out.
Baseball Stars SNK.
Yeah. So if you have any Gone But Not Forgotten titles, make sure you hit us up on Twitter using the hashtag GBNF. Make sure you send those to @game_stitch. Talk about the things that you love that we might not love that we should love. Easy enough. You guys have anything else before we wrap this puppy up?
No,
I'm good.
No.
Running a touch long, but we had a lot of info.
Well, yeah, but to be fair, about 35 minutes of it was fucking Matt statistics on fucking microphones.
It's true.
I'm not gonna say anything. I'm just gonna let it go.
Now here's the one thing I was thinking when you were talking about mics. I don't know if you're wrong.
Right, I don't either.
You could have been like punking me.
However, I know what he went to school for, so I'm assuming he was probably...
Right, but he could have been pulling shenanigans and saying things that aren't even true to see.
He could have, and then when he started messing up brand names like Ultravox, Ultrasound, whatever the fuck it is. Yeah,
it's Electro Voice. Yeah.
But I'm saying, like, he could have just been fucking with me.
He could have been. It's not able. I don't think he was, though.
And be like, you really want to get a green tea mic that has... And I wouldn't have known the difference. I would have been like, wow, that's weird. They named it after tea. Because I don't know anything.
I feel like...
It would have been a good
Matt was
con.
being trustworthy.
Yeah, it would have been a good con, though.
It would have. But he had stuff... He was just too rapid fire and too ready to have shit made up.
Maybe Doc's a little improv on the weekends and we just don't know about it. You doing an
Have you
improv
met-
class?
Have you met him?
No.
Have you met him?
Yeah.
He would suck at improv.
I would love to do
you're
improv.
right. Improv's dumb.
Improv is dumb, but I would love to do it.
Well, go ahead. No one's stopping you.
Yeah, I don't got time for shit like that.
Well, then, yeah.
I don't have enough
That's
time in my
unfortunate.
day to suck at something else.
That's fair.
Like, if I was going to go kill it, then I could probably squeeze it in.
What a shitty way to look at something.
I know, right? That's my entire life. I don't have enough time to be bad at something else. Like, I got to work on the things I'm okay at.
Right.
You know what I'm talking about, Matt.
Yep.
That's very much your outlook.
Yeah. It's pretty much every day of my life.
You're real negative. You're real negative Nancy.
I don't know about that.
Not a positive Patricia like you need to be.
Positive Patty.
Yeah, no, Patricia. I like it better. It's more official.
Right.
We end each and every episode with a segment we like to call One Final Thing with Uncle Dan. This week is no different.
Children these days, 2, 3 years old.
Oh, you mean like baby kids?
Well, technically, yes, but these kids can fucking run a cell phone and an iPad like you wouldn't fucking believe. So I got to thinking. When I was that age, I ate dirt.
Mm-hmm.
These kids are playing games and drawing pictures and turning on their music, and I ate dirt. Now, here's my question. Does that actually mean my childhood was better or no?
I think no.
Because I was outside, and I mean, I guess at that point my iPads were like sticks and brooms because you turned them into swords and guns, and you threw on your stupid Oshkosh Bagosh vest that your mom bought you, and it was blue, so you're like, well, fuck it, it's close enough to Han Solo, and he fucking ran out, and you were Han Solo for the day. Because then on the flip side of that, I remember I was in like the 6th grade, and I'm old, so this is a long time ago. Like, I would get up in the morning during summer break, and I would get on my bike, and I would be gone all fucking day. My only thing they had to be worried about was be home before dark.
Yeah, I think that was a lot of kids, even like my age.
And now, if you do that shit, fucking child
Amber
service
alert.
is going to come take your children away.
Yeah, Amber Alert.
Yeah, I
my
used to
phone's
just-
going off.
I used to just hop on the old 4-wheeler and be gone. And
Yeah.
Mom would be like, "Do you need $20?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know I
Need a
do.
box of condoms? What are
You
you
know I
doing?"
do.
All over.
I'm like,
There was
Mom,
no-
I'm 9.
You want
There was no
menthols?
call- yeah, and now,
Yeah.
and now, they like, child services comes if you let your kids play in the backyard by themselves.
I would come home
Yeah.
from school. My dad's still at work. Drop my backpack and go to my friend's house and just no cell phone, no nothing. Have no idea where I was at.
Yeah.
And I would just come home at dinner time.
Yep.
Yeah.
But now, if you do that, you got to go get murdered somewhere because there's a bunch of fucking crazy people out there.
Right.
Yeah. I used to go to Travis Williams' house every day on the Yamaha Blaster.
The
No
Blaster.
older than 11, dude. I would just hop on it and drive 5 miles to another person's house. Show up, no parents. We used to play with gasoline.
So, I guess here's my question. Here's where I'm going with this. Which is better, being able to be gone all day riding your bike and eating dirt when you're 3? Or being able to use all the technology, cell phones and all that, but you can't leave the kennel in your backyard?
I mean, I think we got the best of both worlds.
With that hot
Because we can use
virtual
all the
boy.
technology and everything.
With that hot virtual boy that we stuck our faces in.
And the goddamn power glove, bitches.
Oh,
But I
it's
mean-
so bad.
It's so
We
bad.
we grew up with the world freedom, but we also grew up with the not scared to press buttons on machines.
Yeah, but they totally have it better off than we do as far as what they're pressing.
Yes, they do.
I would have
Yeah,
shit my
but-
pants if someone would have handed me an iPad when I was 4.
Yeah, but
Shit
we
in
we
my
can,
pants.
But we can pick up new technology and understand it just as quickly as kids can. So
Some of us.
there's no separation. I mean, look at like your grandparents to you.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
a cell phone is like a goddamn alien
Also
spacecraft.
shit
to
in their
them.
pants if you hand them an iPad.
Right? Like, they have
Very
have
similar.
Like my mom, like just one generation back, is scared to do anything on a computer because she thinks that clicking anything is going to mess it up beyond repair.
Yeah.
But then, like us going forward, we'll fucking touch anything. We don't care. Like it doesn't matter. And I think we probably got the better end of that deal because we grew up with all of the tactile technology all the way up to iPads and stuff like that. I don't know.
Yeah,
It's
that's
pretty cool.
one thing. Like, when I look out in my neighborhood, like, I don't see a kid riding a bike.
Yeah,
And that
yeah.
makes my heart a little sad.
Yeah, I don't ever see it. I mean, you hardly ever just see like a group of kids outside playing football in someone's yard.
Like, we used to...
Yeah.
Like
Smear
that-
the queer, for God's sake.
Like, I mean, the thing is, like, we were always playing football.
Ooh,
we were
remember-
always playing basketball.
Remember Red Rover, where you got to clothesline people you
Oh,
didn't
my
like, and no one could
gosh.
do
Oh,
anything?
Jesus.
Yeah, you
It
call
hurts so bad.
You'd be like, send the douchebag right over, and you look at your buddy, and you
Right.
would just... Like, your eyes would say all he needed to know
You're
about
like,
we're
yeah,
not
you didn't
letting
have
loose.
to say a word. You're like, yep.
Like, you got your friends, you're going to let them run through, but this motherfucker is going down.
Yeah,
You lock your arms a little tighter, and when this guy comes through, he's backflipping.
right. Or like me and my boy Chase back in the day, there was this kid Ronnie. He was a Filipino kid that was like 4 years older than everybody else. We tried to hold him back on Red Rover, and this dude would just blast right through us every time and break our arms.
Did he flex after he did it?
Dude, he was the dude from Bloodsport. He was the Korean guy from Bloodsport, basically. There was no stopping him. He would take down a line of like 6 kids.
Dodgeball? How good is Dodgeball? It's
Great game.
Yeah.
Brilliant
Survival
game.
They're
of
not
the
allowed
fittest
to
right
play
there.
it anymore.
No. And they don't even call it that either. It's like Castle Ball or something.
What's wrong with dodgeball?
Kids get hurt.
Everybody gets hurt.
Fat kid takes one in the face. Everybody's upset.
They don't like people
Well.
to get hurt anymore.
Well, just don't throw it at people's heads.
Oh, headhunt's part of the
then
game.
You're not playing dodgeball.
Right. Headhunt's part of the game.
That's the risk,
I
right?
think you
throw it
mean
at
hair
somebody's
down.
head,
That's what's available to hit.
right. They might catch it. Yeah.
They might catch you in the fucking grill, and you're out, fatty.
Right. You throw it right in their line of sight. You know, that's the risk you take. You're either gonna kill them or they're gonna get you out.
Yeah. Dude, dodgeball, fucking good. More kids nowadays play dodgeball, we wouldn't have all the crime we have.
I don't know if that's true.
No, you
Yep.
get some of that stress out. Yep. Same thing
get
with
some
the
of
Red
that stress
Rover.
out?
You clothesline that son of a bitch, bowling stops.
Yeah, put merry-go-rounds back on there.
Yep.
The kids take a steel shaft to the head. Calm them down.
Now, merry-go-rounds are a pretty terrible thing.
Or
Ding,
your-
ding,
your
ding, ding,
legs-
ding, ding, ding.
your
Fucking arms broke.
leg gets caught in it and gets broken in 4 places.
Yeah, you know what you
Right.
learned? Don't fuck around with a merry-go-round.
Sorry, don't put your arm in there while it's
You're
spinning.
not as hard as you thought you were, and those people aren't friends like you think they are.
Yep.
You slow down, let me get on it? No. Jump on while it's moving. Now you're fucking dead. Those kids weren't your friends. Now you know that.
Life
Monkey
lessons.
bars.
Life
Monkey bars.
lessons.
Monkey bars are like 16 feet off the ground.
Oh, yeah, they were high.
Great
wasn't-
place to play basketball when you weren't inside
Yeah.
in the gym.
It wasn't fun. You stayed up there from fear because you knew you were going to snap an ankle if you let go. Like you went all the way across because you had to go all the way across.
I remember when I was in 5th grade, I was like in 5th grade, so I'm what, 10? In
Sure,
the gym,
sure.
they put down mats, and then they had ropes and cargo nets that you climbed. And you had like one spotter down below, who was another fucking 5th grader. The fuck's he
I got
gonna
you,
do?
bro. I got you. Go ahead.
Dude, go higher. Go to the
Yeah.
top. It's
Exactly.
fine.
No, touch it. Touch.
See if you can touch the ceiling.
Yeah. They would never do that now, ever.
No, we had this real like passive aggressive parachute game that we played.
Oh.
I love the parachute game.
I don't even know if it was a game, but you just ran under a fucking parachute over and over,
Yes.
and the shit got real underneath the parachute.
Yep.
Yeah.
Before we
That's
check
where
out
you
of
curse somebody for
yeah,
letting
before
go.
we check out of childhood games, I think we need to just throw a nod to Duck Duck Goose, the old
Goddamn
classic.
Duck, Duck, Goose. I always got picked because I was fat.
Yeah,
Couldn't run
well, that's the
fast.
kid you're targeting every fucking time. Like he just went, he's out of breath, he's still sweating.
I used to get pissed at Duck Duck Goose because for some reason they thought they couldn't just like touch me on the head when they said goose. They thought they had
slap
to
you.
like full blast slap me as hard as they could, so I just wouldn't play.
Well, it's because you were already getting ready to run.
Right.
Yeah,
So you're- 'cause
but
you're
I mean, you don't have to. You didn't have to haul off and slap
You're
somebody.
like
That's all I'm saying.
duck, but you already know.
You know
Like
what's
you're
happening.
you already locked eyes
Right.
with the kid that he's about to get called on. He knows.
They scream goose. They slap you as hard as they can right in the head, and then they take off running.
Yeah.
They come around, and I still haven't got up out of the seat.
Right, they tear
Like,
ass
I am-
around, and as you're getting up, they slide into your spot.
Right. I used to be like, Miss Belcher, I'm not going to play this game if this kid's going to hit me as hard as he can every time.
He's like, head over to the Susie bleacher.
Right.
Things were different back then.
Yes, they were.
Not to out anybody, but there also used to be like weird things with like the boys, you go do whatever, girls, you come over here and tumble on this mat with me. Saying that happened at my school.
Huh.
I think it was inappropriate. It's a
Sounds
lot of
like it
tumble,
might-
a lot of tumble days.
Might possibly have been, but
Times are different.
Coach Stewart?
No,
Coach Oliver?
no.
dude, stop with the names.
We'll talk about it off air.
This has been episode 173.
Dan, don't take my goddamn light.
I'm not. I'm easing you forward before.
This has been episode 173 of the official Gamestitch Podcast. Thanks for joining us. If you have to go to prison now because we talked about you, we are deeply sorry. We did not mean to ruin your entire life.
Coach Chap?
Nope. We'll be back next week. Same time, same place. Make sure you hit us up on
Coach
Twitter
Edgen?
at game_stitch. Nope. And you hit me up at Podcast Ryan. Hit Dan up at Tolhurst2002. Hit Matt up at Podcast Matt. If you have any emails, make sure you use podcast@gamestitch.com. Rate us on iTunes, Stitcher, SoundCloud, all those other fun things. And be sure to check out Elliot's YouTube page,
Yes.
Baraxis Games, for the last time. Have a good night.
Good night.
Good night.